Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an exceptional day. Welcome to the first episode in my Alice in Wonderland journal with me. Today I'm just working on the little booklet and ticket that were in the top pocket of my journal, and you can just see here I am going through some of my photos and choosing what might suit the ticket and what might suit the booklet, what might fit where. I am going to have to trim them down, obviously. Mum duties here, zipping up the jacket on Piper's little dolly. So I've separated my photos into sections of what I think might suit which, and I'm just trying to work out here what's going to be the best for the ticket. And I've chosen that little photo of Orion in the shower after swimming when he was a lot younger. A lot of the photos I've got at the moment hanging around the house are of the kids when they're a lot younger, Piper particularly as a baby. And I do have an overload of Orion photos purely because he's the older of the two. And I've ordered some new pictures to come in, but I only got the shipping notification yesterday. So when I was doing this, I was really just sort of picking out of what I had and just trimming them down to fit. And these little tiny pictures were actually great. They were just the preview page that came in the pack, but they trimmed down to those little wallet size, which is perfect for what I'm doing. So I'm pretty much just going to go through all of the photos that I've got here and just trim them up. That one of Orion, he's about 18 months, 2 years old. And I decided to round the corners on the ones that I wanted in the booklet for the most part, but my corner rounder did not like the photo paper. You can see me struggling here to get it to do what it's supposed to do, and in the end I had to get my scissors and sort of trim them up. The corner round is great. It's a Fiskars one and it does work really well for most part, but there's something about the sort of glossy overlay on the photos, that extra coating, where you can see here I'm struggling. I've got it jammed, and then I've jammed it again. I jam it a fair few times, and then I think in the later pictures I decide to just use my scissors straight from the get-go. So just keep that in mind if you ever decide to corner around your photos, that it can get a little bit like that. So these ones were a bit big for me to fit all the family members in that were in this photo. So I chopped out Piper and then I put the other, it's Nana, her Nana, aside, and I'll use that in another spread. This here is actually the cake I made for my brother's wedding. And I decided that I was really proud of that, how the cake turned out. So I wanted to incorporate that in, and it was the right colors. And when you've got the photos hanging around, you may as well use them. So I decided to take these two big photos that I couldn't cut down any further and make them into tags that I would add to that pocket. Because even though the pocket on the journal had the little booklet and the ticket in it, I felt like it could have more things added to it, and probably things that I'll add more maybe as I go over time. So I'm now distressing the edge with my Tim Holtz Distress ink, and then I realized that I wanted to make it a tag, but I'd actually forgot to tuck the tag, and I'd put the tape on and everything, but that's okay. The great thing about it is that I could go back and change it and stick it on, and then obviously then I've got to trim the blue paper down to fit. And what I actually did was, even though I measured it, I then cut it a little too high, so I'm going around and just trimming up all the edges so they're about the same, and then getting my scissors to complete the actual tag shape, and then re-distressing that blue edge because I wanted it to be coherent. And it's got a really nice red on the back with the love and the bit of decorations, which will make a really nice place for me to journal. I haven't really done a lot of journaling in this style, so I know that sounds really weird because I journal all the time, and I'm an author, so I'm always writing, but I haven't really had much of an opportunity to journal in this sort of really creative way, I suppose the junk journal sort of style. And I've been hoarding all this stuff that I've had sort of for years, trying to work out. You can see me here trying to work out where I want this little heart to go. I'm really flying by the seat of my pants, so it will be really interesting for me to look back on these videos in time to come after I've been a bit more experienced and to see what the progress is like. You can see here I remembered to cut the sides off and make the tag before I distressed it, and I fiddled around with those pre-cut things that I had there, but none of them really fit. So I decided that I would go back to my original idea of this pink paper. I distressed the photo edges, even though you couldn't really see it. I figured that it was going to be better than nothing. Make sure that, what am I trying to say? It's coherent anyway, just in case that it was visible, even though it wasn't really. So just gluing it down, or taping it, I should say. I had that roll of really thin 1/4-inch double-sided tape that my grandma gave to me a very long time ago, and I sort of haven't been using it because it's so thin, like it's so skinny, that I don't have a lot of uses for it. And it's actually not super secure. Like, it's fine for just sticking something down flat, but if I was to use it to make a pocket, I've found that the couple of times I've done that, the pockets have actually then popped off later. So it sort of had limited uses, and I keep thinking to myself, just use it up, just use it up, just use it up. So the back of this scrapbooking paper was only one-sided, and after mucking around for a bit, I decided just to distress it with my distress ink and make it look, and there I've put it on my board, I'm rubbing it off. I wanted to make it look a little bit more used, a little bit more grungy, in keeping with sort of the theme of the Alice journal. So I just distressed the whole back, and I'm now trying to decide what twine will fit there, and I just chose that sort of basic Hessian twine. And I had these little tiny tags, which I thought were really cute, and I learned my lesson from the last time and got a scrap piece of paper there to distress it on. So I distressed that up so that it matched, and then I'm going to try and thread it onto the string. And the first time that I do it here, it doesn't quite work, so I realized I needed to put it around the loop, and there it sort of is there. And I was really happy with that extra look, just that little bit of extra thing. And I decided these are Tim Holtz word strip stickers, and they're really, really great. I love them. They're just really cool things that they sort of say on them. And I picked something that I thought was appropriate, and I was trying to decide what to put on the back of the tag, and in the end I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave it. So once again, these little gold framey stickers were things that were left to me by my grandma. They were in her craft stash when she passed away, and she left all her crafty stuff to me. And I've been hoarding it for a while because she's been gone for a few years now, but I was really, really close to her, and I've been finding it really hard to use her stuff. These flower stickers were all that you can see on the left were also from her. And I've decided recently that looking at them and getting sad and being afraid to use them is not the best way to remember her. And if I use them, every time I look back at these things, I'm going to remember her, and then maybe I'll smile because I've made something pretty with those memories. So I've just drawn on some journaling lines there with my my thin pen. It's the micron, not the micron, it's not a micron. It's a, oh gosh, what is it? Micra? Anyway, it's super thin. It's not waterproof, but it makes a really thin line, and I really like it. And I'm just now doing a little bit of journaling about the cake on the other side with my trusty Staedtler Tri Plus. I use these for everything. I love the bright colors and the way that they write. So that tag's done, and now I decided I'm going to write on the back with the micro pen that I used to draw the lines before, because even though I usually prefer to write in color, because the cardstock obviously is colored, it was a little bit tricky, so I decided a black pen would probably be the best. And because I'm still sort of feeling my way with this sort of style of journaling, I've never been much of a scrapbooker. I've always made cards, but never much scrapbooking, which is sort of, I feel, part of the junk journaling world. I'm still learning how to tie my photos into what I want to say. So I'm pretty much writing about what's in the photograph at this stage. And I think as I get older, as I get more experienced, I'll probably find something that makes more sense. So here, this little photo of Orion, I found this little word strip sticker that said the little things, which I thought was really funny. It amused me highly. And now I'm just writing a little caption to say what he is doing, because I thought it's probably fairly obvious that he's in the shower, but like I said, I'm still struggling to caption these things. So now I'm moving on to the little booklet. I decided that I would do the same sort of theme, a photo on every page, and then I would just write about it while I'm still sort of feeling my way. So this photo is of Orion when he's quite young. He's only a few months old here. He could sit up and that was it. And his teddy, who he still has that teddy to this day, and he absolutely adores it. And some of these photos are some of my favorite photos of Orion as a baby, so I was really excited that it cut down to the perfect size to sort of fit there. And I'm just journaling about his teddy and how much he loves his teddy. It's not quite that color white anymore, as you can imagine. Sort of more of a beige color, but he adores it. He's actually got 3 because I need to wash them sometimes. So now I decided with those little sort of wallet size ones, that one's of me and Marshy, I thought I might do a bit of a collage on the page underneath it, just because I sort of wanted the photo to take up the whole page, but it wasn't quite the right size. So I just grabbed some washi and then an offcut of scrap from that blue tag that I made earlier. And I've used a bit of tape and a bit of glue pen to just sort of stick that on and make a bit of interest. And then I'm going to distress the edges of the picture, and then it's just going to get taped in. So I am just going to stick that down in the middle, and then probably find some word strip stickers there to go along with it. And I thought I'd be a little bit romantic for a change. Marty and I don't do a lot of romantic stuff. And I decided the flowers didn't really fit there, and neither did the gold. And I found another offshoot from Grandma, just leftover little sort of denim-y blue, dirty blue, clear stickers, which seemed to suit really well. Once again, I'm just going to journal about the picture, and it was a little bit tricky actually because it was just a picture of me and Marshy, but I think I just wrote about how lucky I am to still be married to him. We've been together for 12 years now, which I feel is a bit of an achievement in this day and age because it doesn't always work out that way. So we're growing together as a family, but also as a couple, and he's super supportive of me and all the things that I do. And I try and do the same thing in return. And now this little secondary one, I decided I wanted to mat this one. So I chose a scrap of scrapbooking paper that I had left over, and I'm just sticking the picture over the top, and then I'll just trim it down and distress those edges. So this one was a family shoot we had done when Piper was just a baby. She's about, not even 6 months old there. Her birthday's late July, and this was sort of Christmas-ish time of the year that she was born, so she's about 6 months old. And I have a lot of cute photos from this shoot as well, and it's nice to have some family ones hanging around every now and then. So I decided to use the sort of gold accents top and bottom as though that was sort of holding them in place, and then I'm trying to work out how else I want to spread around the I thought that this book should be thematic, so when I picked out the flowers and the hearts and the word strips, I kind of thought to myself, well, I'm going to try and have a bit of a theme through the booklet. And like I said, I'm quickly becoming attached to those word strip stickers. Mum and I bought them in a sale at Spotlight a couple weeks ago, I think it was. And this was the first time that I'd actually used them, and I'm quickly coming to adore them. So I might need to keep an eye out for sales or things like that around the place and pick up some more, because I can see myself using them. I could probably make my own, cut up an old book or an old novel or something and have those phrases, because really that's all they are. So I decided that photo didn't fit very well on the next page, and I liked it on the back cover because, like what was on the inside of the front cover, it was a full-size shot. So I've now moved on to the picture of Piper as a baby. She was really young there. And my 1/4-inch tape ran out, so I grabbed a roll of 1/2 inch that I'm just going to use. There wasn't much on that one either, honestly. And so she's getting tacked down in the middle of the page, and I'm just putting a couple of those flowers on to decorate and adding the word strip sticker underneath. And then I will journal about that too. So she, I've got to stop saying Do you know how hard I'm trying to not say it? I'm working really hard, guys. So I'm sorry about that if I keep sort of prefacing my thoughts with that interjected word here and there. So when Piper was really little, she made the most amazing faces. She was hilarious. So I have a lot of photos of her of this sort of age making these really, really cute faces that I love. I realized I needed some more photos. I had 2 more pages left. So I went back to my photo box and grabbed a couple more pictures, and I am cutting them down to sort of slice in. This one of Orion throwing a ball, and I learnt my lesson with the corner rounder, and I'm just doing it by hand, even though they're not exactly the same. And this shot is actually of Orion as a brand new baby. This was at my birthday, the year Orion's born. So Orion's only about 4 weeks old here. And that's my mum, who you have, well, I don't know that I would say you've seen her before, but you have seen her chatting array in the videos. So that's her. Hi, Mum. And I'm now just sticking Orion in to his page there. And I'm going to grab out the same sorts of decorations I've been using all along. Those denim blue flowers were really lovely. And then the word strip sticker over the top. And then I'm just sort of going to journal about that. He has the cheekiest little grin, which I absolutely adore. Unfortunately, I usually see it when he's being naughty. But, you know, I think that's just part of his personality. And that smile has been a constant from the day he first started smiling right back through to now. So I just love seeing it when it comes out. It doesn't come out all that often, but I do adore it. So once again, and this is where the tape ran out. So I had to get glue to do the last bit. I was so frustrated. I wanted to use the tape up, but 2 rolls within sort of 5 or 10 minutes of each other that had sort of given up the ghost. So stuck that one in, and I sort of struggled to find the best match here, but I decided just to go with Mum's personality. I am lucky to be such close friends with my mum. She's a huge inspiration in my life, and she has taught me, you know, everything I know, not just life skills, but also as far as art goes. When I was a kid, she was so encouraging of me to write my novels, to draw pictures, all sorts of stuff. And I'm really grateful that I've got her in my life to do that with. We have days, as you guys know from seeing the videos, where we get to craft together. She has 1 day off a week and she chooses to spend it with me, which is something that I feel is a bit of a blessing on my behalf. I'm so lucky to have a close relationship with her, that her day off is something that we spend together. And it's a special day for both of us. We really enjoy it. So now I am just writing about the photo underneath. The t-shirt that Ryan's wearing in the picture, I absolutely thought it was hilarious. It's a bit of a pun when I bought it. And he, for some reason, thought that because it said, "This is my mummy," that it was me underneath all those bandages. So it was a bit of a running joke when he was a baby. And now that booklet was empty, but I didn't like the fact that the back cover was blank. So I once again ratted through the photos that I hadn't used to try and find one that I thought would match. I got the same washi that I'd used earlier to make a bit of a feature sort of collage. And then I found just that little piece of fabric that was a scrap from the journal that I'm currently making. And I thought, yep, it fits perfectly on the back. It's just the right size. And so I stuck it on. It was that same sort of dirty blue color that the flowers were. And then I had to trim this photo down. But I was lucky enough that trimming off Nana and Grandad on either side, they're still in one piece. So I'll be able to use the offcuts of the photos in a separate project. But they wouldn't have all fitted. And Orion by himself just fitted really nicely in there. And he is a storyteller. He loves to talk. He's always talking. So now I'm getting the box and I'm going to slip everything inside it. I'm giving you guys a final look before it fits all in. And that is pretty much the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this journal with me. There'll be many more to come because I haven't even started the main part of the box yet. Until then, please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.